So, I have been trying to go live everywhere for like the past half an hour because I want to do a midnight special where I talk about any and everything with one of my best friends. So, I'm hoping it lets me add her. And she's able to actually join and talk. Hello everyone that is catching this. Apologize for the delay or the quietness. Okay, now see. Thank you. Finally. Okay.
Are we on Instagram?
Yes, we're on Instagram.
Okay.
It finally let me add you, or you add me for the love of
I
God.
don't know why I wouldn't let you add. I don't know.
know. It's so
I don't even know what happened to my live that I was just in. I saw the request and I just jumped out of there like boom,
it's so
boom.
crazy. That is so crazy. Hello, everyone that has joined. Welcome, welcome. Me and my best
What
friend,
up,
this is
dog?
Tamika. This is me,
The
Chris,
one and
the
only.
one and only.
The
We've
one
been
and
planning
only.
on doing like a little live session forever, but tonight we just figured might as well do it because I'm actually off of work. She's actually off of work, and we just said, forget it. Let's just do it. Okay, finally. Okay. Because Facebook and everything else was not acting right. So
They just was not.
we
They
are
was
going to
giving
talk
us
about
not love.
Facebook is whack. That's why they stock went down, and I'm so pissed I did not buy puts and rack up like tens and thousands of dollars off of their downfall. But that's neither here or there. I'll do that in another time. My day is coming. Anyways, so we have been meaning to do this where we just talk about anything and everything. One of the
Any
topics
and
that
everything.
right.
Y'all know I'm down. I'm down for any and everything
I
all the
know,
time.
right? Like one of the topics that we always end up talking about is that our relationships. Like we both have complex relationships with people. And we usually bounce, our scenarios and situations off of each other. And a lot of times we end up having the same kind of scenarios and situations at the same time. Just with different people. Yes. So one of the questions that I always get asked is because Tamika is obviously my best friend, but I do have a male best friend by the name of TJ. And this has came up in my dating life is the fact that I do have a male best friend, and some people feel as if you cannot be friends with someone of the opposite sex. I feel as if you can, but everybody has their in
I
regards to
feel like y'all see I'm playing with the filters. I feel like people listen to Steve Harvey too much for me.
oh my
That's
God.
what I feel like.
We gotta breathe Steve in.
Because here's the thing. If there's a same sex situation, which yeah, I'm not gonna go there. But if it's the same sex situation, so if it's two women in a relationship, are they not allowed to date? Excuse me, not date. Are they not allowed to have female friends?
Right.
Like that don't make sense. So then when you put that into a heterosexual scenario, um, well, I'm sorry, let me go back. If it's two women dating, are they not allowed to have male friends?
Right.
So then you put that into a heterosexual scenario, and it kind of don't make sense. I feel like that's where a lot of insecurities start at or begin at because people don't trust their mates with other people because it is said that all the time that one person wants to be with the other person and just stayed in a platonic situation or whatever.
Yeah.
And that could be possibly true, but it's a platonic situation. And you ultimately, at the end of the day, you have to trust your mate to make the
Yeah.
right decision. And if you don't trust your mate, then what the fuck? Why are you even in
Why
a
are you even in a
relationship?
relationship?
But
My
it's
point is
really
that
an insecurity at the end of the day. It's an insecurity with that individual who don't trust their mate.
agree. I completely agree. And that's something that has come up with my dating life is the fact that I do have a male best friend. But another aspect to it is that people that I have dated, I am still cool and friends with. Now, if it's a person that you have dated previously, but you guys are completely platonic and you're friends, would you be able to handle that with your mate? Honestly.
Say it one more time. Say the question one more time.
Okay, so like if your mate is friends or cool with an ex, somebody that they have sex with or slept with, would you be okay with them still being friends with them, or would you have an issue with them being friends with them?
Oh, I don't have a problem with them being friends
Mhm.
because ultimately, this is me when I go into a relationship. When I
What
go
else?
into a relationship, I automatically assume that everything that you're saying to me is the truth.
Yeah,
And once you prove to me that it's no longer the truth, this is where the problem becomes in or
yeah,
comes in. And I'm sorry, y'all. I'm kind of getting into sleepy mode, so I'm apologizing ahead of time. But this is where the problem comes in at is when, you know, you didn't give me reason to believe that it's something else going on other than what you just told me that was going on. But if I
right,
meet you and I say, or you tell me that you were in a relationship or whatever, or with this person, but y'all don't sleep together no more and y'all been friends, then y'all are fucking friends.
right,
Who the fuck am I to say that y'all not?
right. And
You
see,
know what
that's
I'm
the
saying?
scenario that I was in. Like, I was upfront with the person from the get go. Like, yes, I am friends with, someone that I dated or I was ex with or whatever. I think your Wi-Fi is on. Somebody I was dating previously, and he, come to find out, had an issue outside of me with this person previously that I didn't find out until we actually started dating. So, but that does not negate the fact that, like, I have a complete separate scenario and relationship or friendship with this other person. Like, I can't help what background you guys had, but I was upfront about with you from day one that this is my friend and I don't expect to not be friends with this person. I know I'm going to talk to this person. I'm not going to hang out with them or be like up under them every day or anything like that. But yeah, if I talk to them, I don't want to feel uncomfortable about that. And I'll let you know that. Honesty is definitely the best policy, Mike, for sure.
I
But
kind of
like,
feel like it's unrealistic for people to make decisions about other people. Like, if I'm in a relationship, or I'm sorry, if I have a friendship with someone and then that turns into, and then I get into a relationship, like, I don't like it when people have friends and then, and this is male or female, people have friends and then they get into a relationship because that mate doesn't either like their friend or doesn't agree with their friendships.
yeah,
That person then they choose not to be as close as they was. But when you and that person have a problem, you calling who? When you and
right,
that person break up, you calling who? So if me and this
exactly,
person been friends long before your ass got here, I'm
exactly,
gonna keep this friend. But you don't. I'm a grown person. I
right,
don't have the right to dictate what another grown person does. And
right,
ultimately, at the end of the day, when the insecurities come in, it's because adults are trying to control other adults
right. And that's exactly
instead of letting those adults be.
Exactly. And that's exactly how I feel. And what you said, Blake, choice between your friend and your mate at that point, completely. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like their scenario was completely out of the fact I had nothing to do with it. I just happened to have dated this other person and you happen to know and have a history with the other person. But it completely overran the relationship. Like it completely became a hot button topic all the time and it just got like draining. Like I don't even talk to this friend every day, but this friend has been there for me. He was there when my mom had her second stroke. He was there for me at the hospital. He was there for me like when I was going through things, picking up food. Like he was a good friend. Like our relationship didn't go right, but he has always been, what I'm talking about. He has always been there for me and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna stop being friends with him. But because of some bad fuck shit that him and my ex had, like it just completely overshadowed our relationship. That relationship was doomed anyway because of the history and who the person is. You know what I'm talking about. Crazy as Gemini. But like, um, it's just ridiculous, I feel like, to be intimidated by somebody that you knew about from the get-go and that was there before you. Like, if I'm telling you up front, like, this is my friend, I do have male friends. There's nothing sexual going on. Yes, I did date this person. This person is a friend that I did date, and we're completely platonic at this point. Like, what is the issue? Like, what is
And
the
see, I feel like
problem?
with the fact that you're being honest, that will make me trust the
That's
situation even more. And I don't know, maybe that's a little naive.
but see, that's the
But
problem.
when
That
you
I think,
lie, when
yeah,
you lie about it or you delay information,
yeah.
that's where,
The problem, and
the
I feel
issue
like
come in.
that's my, but see, for me, I feel like my bluntness and honesty has become a problem with the people that I date, because it's like it catches them off guard. Like, I'm very blunt about everything. I'm very blunt about my past. I'm very blunt about my goals. I'm very blunt about my future. I'm very blunt about my past relationships, the people in my life, and the things that I am going to achieve and attempting to achieve right now, and things that I'm just not going to waver on. Like, and I think that kind of intimidates them, like kind of
I do
catches,
think I do in your scenario.
because you know
I
everything.
do
So get
I
into
do
it.
I do think that there is an issue with intimidation, but I don't necessarily think that you are too blunt.
Yeah,
Um I think that people don't know how to um receive honesty.
yeah,
Um and then also I don't think that in relationships people excuse me, y'all. I don't think that people know how to I lost my train of thought. Shit. I told you I was really sleepy.
I don't think people know
But
how to
people,
take our
they
person,
don't know
like,
how to take honesty.
I don't think they do. I
Or
don't think they do.
it's like it's a too good to be true. Like, why
Yeah,
would you be so open and honest? But why not?
yeah.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
then
Why not?
and then I think with me is that because I become demanding of the same type of honesty. Like, look, don't beat around the bush with me. Don't bullshit me. If I'm saying like, hey, are you talking to this person, or are you talking to a girl or some shit like that? Don't be like, in what way? Or don't be like, what do you mean? Like, that type of shit pisses me off. It's like, it's a clear, direct question with a
Right.
clear, direct answer being warranted. And if you were to ask me, I would give you a clear, direct answer. I'm not going to play with your top, and I'm not going to like bullshit you. And I think a lot of people kind of catch that, don't understand that. And I think that's where my aggressiveness and me taming like my masculine energy side of myself, or trying to get like more into with that and be a little less dominant and allow somebody to lead, I think that kind of intimidates. Like,
But how can you let somebody lead you
I
if they
don't
don't
know.
know where the fuck they going?
But see, that's the whole thing too. It's like, I've come across two people, three that I've dated that I know 100% are leaders.
I know
Like,
one.
you, one of them is here.
I know. Did you heard me? I said I know
Right,
one.
one of them is
For
here,
sure I know one.
and the other two would be Carrie, and the other one would be Voldemort. You know what I'm saying? Like, both.
I don't agree with Voldemort.
Okay, well, I would say kind of like
I would say okay with Carrie, but see, I never really met him, so I don't know. But
he
definitely not Voldemort.
I would say with Voldemort, it was more so he didn't, a person that didn't need to feed off of my intellect. That's what I would say in regards to.
Nah, because he was doing other shit.
Yeah, he was a fucking
He fed
energy
off of other
bastard.
shit, so he
He
don't count.
he fed off of my energy. He's a
Mm-mm,
succubus. He's a succubus. He another life. He another life. Another midlife life.
mm-hmm,
Because we're gonna get into
mm-hmm.
that motherfucker. But not right now. But no, like, I think for me, like, as far as leading, it's like, because I'm so responsible, because I'm usually the one that's leading a lot of situations, it's like it's hard for me to trust somebody to lead me. And I've really only had, honestly, two situations where 100% I know if they say they're gonna do something, they got it.
But see, like, lead you to fucking where? Because it's a
Like,
bunch of motherfucking leaders, and they not going in the direction that you going in.
and see, that's the problem with the ones that I did date. It's like, it's kind of like, we're going, we want to get to, we have so much in common, but we're kind of on two different paths and two different areas of our life. Me, in restart mode. The other one, he's set. He has his career, he has his home, he has his things that he wants to do, he knows what he wants to do and take care of. And it's just one area where we just do not, neither one of us will agree on.
See, here's the thing though. I don't necessarily think that you need to water down your quote unquote masculine energy or your alphaness. Okay. I
Really?
don't think that. Okay.
Okay.
I just think that when there's an alpha woman, there can be an alpha woman and an alpha male, right?
Yeah.
When there's an alpha woman, you have to find the right alpha male. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And when that right alpha male comes along, it's going to, you're going to automatically, like
Gravitate
you
towards.
just said,
Like I'm gonna automatically have. Yeah.
you're going to naturally be submissive. That's just how it goes,
I
right?
haven't had that yet.
So
I haven't had that like just
the reason
immediately.
why,
Yeah.
this is my opinion, the reason why in those two situations, you, it wasn't that you were too masculine. I don't think that. I just think that they were not the right alpha male for you
Okay.
for whatever reason. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Whatever reason y'all bumped heads. You and let's just we gonna you and the cop.
There we go.
With you and the cop, I think it was just a lot of shit that happened early on in
Yeah.
y'all interactions
Yeah.
that caused y'all to have issues. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But
Agreed.
then at the same time too, because you were so fresh and still learning who you were,
Yeah.
it also caused the problem. So that's another part of it.
That's a
Like
huge problem. That was a huge
you
problem.
that's that like you have to know who you are when you
Right.
looking for these situations.
Right.
You gotta be oneness with yourself. So it's not about dumbing down your alphaness or trying to have more feminine energy, because at the end of the day, we all people all have, this is what I believe anyway,
Yeah.
possess masculine and feminine energy. It's
Right.
just when you choose to do it and
Yeah.
use it, or when you choose to use it,
I
if that
agree.
makes sense.
I completely, it do make sense. I think with me, like it definitely with that situation, it was definitely I was fresh off the boat. I was fresh out of what a damn near 9 year relationship
You
with my
came out of a
like
relationship, went into a situation with Voldemort, and then went
move
into a
move
situation with the
back,
cop.
right, move to a new
And
city,
then
move
and
back
then
home. Yeah.
there was a secondary situation. Like there was an underlying situation going on. You know
It
what
was
I'm
so
saying?
much going on.
It was
Like
so much
it
going
was
on in your
so
life like that. Hey girl, hey, that wasn't gonna work out for you. Just like, you understand what I'm
it
saying?
was
Like,
crazy. Like looking back at it now and being who I am now, I don't even recognize that girl like back then because she was so all over the place. Like it was just so much going on. It was the
you were
breakup.
all over the
It
place.
was
I
the
will agree.
breakup. It was
You
the
are not
moving.
the same person.
I am nowhere near the same person.
It was like, because you had got out of the relationship, it was like you was like, whatever, I'm doing everything.
I'm doing
That's what it was.
yes, it really
And
was.
I understand. And I understand that. It was like, whatever come my way, I'm doing it. I don't care. I'm about to explore life, because for so many years I've been doing
I
this and
couldn't
blah
do
blah blah
shit.
blah. No, fuck that.
I
I'm
couldn't do
doing everything.
yeah. And that was the problem too, was because like I was trying to figure out which is the area that I wanted. I in turn was not recognizing the fact that I was kind of hurting people I gave a fuck about, like at the same time too. But it was because I didn't know me. Like this was all fresh. I had just got out of a relationship with Chris at 8 years, damn near 9 years, which was like most of my adult life.
Adult life,
Then on
right?
top of it, like moving back from Atlanta back up here, then my mom's situation, then on top of it, losing so much weight and just the amount of attention that alone brought me was overwhelming, and it's
That's
still
different.
overwhelming. It's still extremely overwhelming, even dealing with it now. Just everything. It was crazy. Then coming into contact with somebody that was more mature on record, like more mature being Voldemort, and having him kind of take the lead on like this is what you need to do, first date Jamaica, like
And
money
I
and
still
everything.
feel like he was a manipulator.
He prayed,
Let's just call
he prayed
it what it is.
he preyed on my energy. He totally preyed on my energy. And he knows that and he's admitted to it. He preyed on my energy. He preyed on the fact that like I'm into money, making money. He preyed on the fact that I'm into business. He preyed on the fact that like he knew I had just got out of this situation, so I wasn't aware of like whole ass nigga shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he preyed on all of that. And he preyed on the fact that we were now in a long distance situation. So it was like a lot of the shit that bitches care about, I don't care about because I'm still back here trying to get my life together. So I'm not going to be up your ass like that. Like, you know what
But
I'm
you're not
saying?
like that no way.
I'm not like that no way. But see, that's the thing too. It comes off like I don't care, but it's not that. I just care more about me and achieving my goals and making sure the kids that I'm going to have don't have to go through the shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? Because my parents wasn't in a good financial situation. I don't want to take my kids through that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to go through that shit. So it's like me preparing myself for that is more important than anything. And that causes a problem. But it is what it is, kitten. It
I don't
is.
know. Y'all
I
want
don't
to
know.
break my shit down? Look.
Right, period. Because it's like, what the fuck these motherfuckers want? Like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know.
I don't either. I don't
I
understand.
don't know.
I don't
I feel
understand.
like I don't know. I don't know. Being separated. This is what I feel like in my situation. We talked about this though. I feel like people get caught up in who we are and not trying to understand who we are. They just get caught up in the idea and the
Right.
fantasy about who we
Hello.
are. Hello. So when that dies down, when the thrill goes away, then they like, oh, this bitch. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I don't know if I like her. I
Right.
just really don't know
Like,
because
she's a little too aggressive or she's a little too dominant. And it's like, it's not that I'm just blunt.
like I've had situations, and again, something me and you talk about. I got like 4 people right now telling me that they love me,
Right.
and half of them never met me.
Because they
And
fall in love
and the
with
rest of them don't fuck with me for real.
they fall in love with the social media presence. You so silly. They fall in love with
Dog,
the
it's
social
it's
media.
crazy because I really be trying to figure this shit out. Like, how, Sway?
Yeah.
Like, how is it that you say these words, or you feel this way about me, or you want these things from me, or you want to proceed with a relationship, but I don't feel like you're giving me what I need. You're
Right.
getting everything you need from me,
Right.
but I'm not getting what I need from you. And it,
Exactly.
it makes me feel like you're not either listening or you don't
You
ask
just
me
don't
enough
give a
questions.
fuck.
And in most of these situations, they don't ask
They
me
don't.
enough questions.
They don't because they want
Um,
you to fulfill their fantasy or their thought of you. They want you to fulfill that instead of understanding that you're a complete person and you have a complete mind and you're different and you have your own ideas and thought process. They want you to be what they see on social media or what they have made you up to be. And the truth is that is a part of you, but that's not all of you. And they
And
don't
that's
seem
what
to
I be trying to
understand
get
that.
them to understand.
They don't seem
None of
to
these
understand that.
people, I just feel like nobody really gets to try to know me
Yeah.
and who I am. And like I was just talking to somebody yesterday,
Hmm.
and I was just explaining to them like it's layers to me, you know what I'm saying? But everybody think that the most important or the main layer or the that I only have one layer, which is sex and
Sex
always
talk.
sex because
And it's
that's
not
what
that.
I talk about and
Mhm.
that's my business, but that's not it. Like when people get to really know me, they be like, "Damn, you kind of cool. You down to earth." Like, what the fuck? What the fuck did you think? Like
Right.
even with Sean, when I first met Sean, he told me that he thought I was a quote unquote party girl, and I said, "Well, what the fuck is that?"
Right.
He was like, "I thought you like stay up, go to the club, drink, smoke." No, I'm in this fucking bed at 8 o'clock because I gotta
Period.
get up and go to work in the fucking
That
morning. You know
part.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like, you and this bitch going to bed early, reading books, you barely drink. Like, nah, I don't drink because I got a fucking toddler running around. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to enjoy a drink when this little motherfucker running around, you know?
Exactly. And they don't get that. And that's like with me, I think guys have their interpretation of me either being like, I think with Carrie, I'll say it with Carrie, I think his whole idea was that like I was this sweet, androgynous looking black girl. You don't really know what I am half of the time or whatever. But with the little Valley Girl voice, but it's like, yeah, but that voice got a brain behind it. and that ain't going nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have my own opinion and values and shit that I just don't waver on. So if you want to go toe for toe with debating, we could do that. But I'd rather love
I
you
do feel like a lot of times the guys that you encounter
or
do
arrogant.
put you in a they put you in a box and
Yeah.
they assume you to be a auto. I think this is why the cop and Carrie was
Get
the
into
issue
it.
also, because they thought you were already a submissive person,
Yeah.
and that wasn't the case.
And that's not the case
It's not the case at all.
at all.
So,
And
um,
I want to be submissive, but I also want to
but
be,
it's not like I feel like it's an automatic thing.
yeah.
I know she is, but I feel like you telling the business. See, I ain't even say it was you.
It
I'm
don't
trying to
matter.
use
He here.
so. You know what I'm saying? But I know she is, but what I'm saying is that I feel like that when you met her, be like when you initially was talking to her, I felt like you just automatically assumed that she was this submissive person. You expected her to be the way that you thought she was when y'all was talking, and then you found out that she had a little pushback, and that became a problem. And it was always a tug of war between you two because you want her to be submissive, and she ain't with the shits because she don't fucking know you for real. That's what I'm saying. But
He said not at all. So I think
here you go. Look, we not gonna we was cool. Don't start with
it's
me.
three blunt people on here. But like it's so crazy. This whole dynamic is so nope. What happened? You put it in the comments what happened and we'll come back to that. Oh Lord.
What happened then? What
Yes,
happened
get
then?
into it. I know what happened, but just so everybody on the same page as far as what happened.
I mean, I'm the only person in here that don't know what happened.
A lot.
I just said it was two things that happened.
I think it was. And the other thing is what was the kind of like, yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that situation.
The
Underlying, yeah.
underlying
I don't care. We can
situation.
talk about it, but the underlying situation was definitely a major factor, and I understand also.
But I'm gonna tell you, okay, so I'm gonna tell you a mistake that you had did all through these relationships
Get
that you've
into it.
had.
Yeah.
You tell them about this underlying situation up front. And it's like, this is what it is. Ain't shit changing, and deal with it.
You know what the thing is with that specific scenario? It's like I know it's not going to happen again, but it's like for me, if somebody I was with slept with somebody and they're in the same room and I'm in the same room, I would want to know.
I get that. I get that part. I get that part. But I feel like
It might be too much to share for somebody.
it's a lot to share in the beginning.
Right, but
You
it's like
understand what I'm
I
saying?
understand. I understand. Like
But I will say, with the cop, the shit happened at the same time.
yeah,
So
that was
it
my
was
fault.
kind of like
That was my fault. That whole
that was.
scenario trifecta was completely my fault, and it was my fault because I was confused out of this world, and I didn't take the lead of being the adult in the situation and take everybody's feelings into account. I didn't take my feelings. I didn't take your feelings. I didn't take that person's feelings. I didn't take nobody's feelings into account except for me being confused and just trying to figure shit out. I fucked up with that situation. That was completely my mistake. But like with that conversation, that person, he was like, I should have known that you was confused and it was a lot going on. What was it? Like
I'm just gonna say for the record, I'm pretty sure that that other situation that they never had no beef with the cop. I'm pretty sure.
exactly. And I'm so glad that was said because it's none
Hmm.
and nor the other way.
There was. I don't think that person ever had beef with the cop ever.
No. I think it was just all Chrissy just juggling too much and Doing too much. Doing way too much. It was my mistake to do all that. Matter of fact, we just gonna blame Voldemort because he the one who kickballed this whole bullshit. Like he kickstarted all this shit. Like he really did. He kickstarted all this. He kickstarted all.
That's funny.
But
You gonna blame him, huh?
I
He
am,
did
because he
kickstart all
did.
of it.
Like he the one who even got that thrown out there. Like, ew.
No, it was. You can't blame that on somebody else. I'm
I'm
just
not.
saying.
I take my ownership. I take my ownership, but I take my ownership in being naive to the play that he was trying to run.
That's true, but he would have never been able to run that play if the thought was never already
This was
there.
me. The thought was there before him. Before him, I will say that just for clarity with this, the thought was there before him.
And
He just watered the seed. You know?
but the thing, okay, well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
We gonna
not delve into that anymore.
we won't delve into that anymore. But yeah, for all parties, I do apologize again. Like, my bad. I was confused. I was in love with.
You was in love with living your life.
I was in love with trying to figure out my life.
Yeah.
And I ended up falling in love with somebody that ended up hurting. So that's not cool. But it is what it is. Can't go back.
Wait, I don't know this part.
Oh yeah, I was totally in love with the car. Yeah, I was. That's the truth. I was completely. You didn't know that?
With the cop?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, I was definitely in love with the car. I think I was in love with the concept at that time. I think I was in love with the security and protection that I finally felt. Like, I finally felt protected. I finally felt secure. I finally felt like somebody genuinely had my back, or if it's something crazy popped off, I didn't have to call my dad, or I didn't have to rely on myself. So yeah, I definitely was in love with him at the time, for sure. I think now it's like, because we both kind of know who we are, it's like, I don't know, like, it would be crazy because it's certain things in his life that he absolutely deserves because it's him and it's something he's been restricted for so long that I wouldn't want to see him restrict that part of his life at all, because he definitely deserves to explore that. And it's just that I wouldn't be able to accept it. And with me restarting my life, it's certain things that I just have got to accomplish to feel as if, you know, I'm comfortable or stable and things like that. You know what I'm
Well, that's an accomplishment in itself for you to even say that.
Admit it.
That, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely was madly in love with him at one point. Like, it was crazy.
That's interesting. That's a revelation.
Yeah, definitely
the first time I've heard of that.
Yeah, I still definitely, absolutely have a shit ton of love for that person. But yeah, at one point I was absolutely madly in love with the person. Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Get into it, but yes. But this life is, you know, a little long. I know you're a little tired and stuff like that.
No, I'm fine.
Are you up? Okay, so we up. Oh shit. That was Jesus. That was Jesus saying, you about to dive into some other shit, Chrissy. Okay. We're not gonna dive into who I love and who I didn't love and all this other stuff. But no, back to relationships. With you, how do
Lord.
Okay, so you talked about, yes, because you talked about the fact that you are separated right now. How do you handle, if you want to talk about it, the dating aspect of being separated?
Oh Lord, it's tricky.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Because some people feel like because I'm still attached, they don't want to fuck with me. And that's fair. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to force nobody into my situation or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But I do be open and honest, and I let people know up front, like, hey, you know, I'm still married, but I'm not with this person. We don't live together. We barely talk, literally. Like, if we talk, it's literally about the kids.
Right.
So, I just, you know, my goal last year was we separated, it's been a year, actually a little over a year, but my goal was to finalize get the divorce papers going before the end of last year, but then I had those tragedies happen, so
Yeah.
that, put that on the back burner. But um the funny thing is that when people tell me that they don't want to fuck with me, like I rarely ever have people that be like, stop talking to me altogether.
Yeah.
Um, they always come back
They always
ask me
do.
questions.
That's the
I
Libra
can count
aspect
on
of
one
people. That's
hand. So it's
Libra.
this one, I will say it's this one guy that I've been talking to off and on for like over a year. And he is just so pissed, okay? Because he like really wanted to date me and stuff. And then I told him when he first tried to talk to me, I was still in my marriage, like, involved in my marriage. Then we kind of ended up talking again, and then I told him I was separated, so everything was going good. But when we did, I had was just freshly separated, and at the time I wasn't trying to divorce my husband.
Right.
Actually, he asked me for the divorce, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
But I wasn't trying to divorce him or nothing like that, and I was still trying to figure shit out. I was very confused and very all over the place at that time.
Yeah.
And then again, when I did, decided I was going to get divorced, then when I decided on my relationship dynamic, it didn't fit with his relationship dynamic. So then he still to this day be pissed off. Like, I can't believe you.
I
I
know.
don't know what you want me to do.
Like, what do you want me to
You
do?
know what I'm saying?
What do you want me
But
to do?
it does get tricky. Like I said, I do be honest with people. It's not never a time where I don't let you know that I'm still married or whatever, but I literally don't even look at my marriage as it still being intact. Literally, that piece of paper is the only thing that holds us together, and that's just under the state of Michigan. Like, we are not together
Do you feel like you'll
at
ever get
all.
married again or want to get married again?
For a long time, I did say that I don't even want a relationship. I just recently made the decision that maybe I'll consider a relationship. It's not completely off the table, but I will consider it under the right circumstances.
Yeah.
I do not desire to get married, and just to be honest, I'm not like a big, oh my God, I gotta get married person. So even in my marriage, it wasn't something that I was looking for. It was just something that kind of happened.
Right.
So getting married again is not like a desire of mine.
Right.
Um, I'm actually scarred from this situation to ever like go into holy matrimony with somebody else. I'm just
You
the
got some
simple
things you got to
shit.
work out to
It's
consider.
just like some simple shit. Like, I don't want to live with somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's the
I don't
Libra
want to live
shit.
with somebody. I don't want to, and I don't necessarily think it's some Libra shit. Honestly, um, I'm 38. If don't nobody know, I'm 38, and I have been in a relationship for 18 years of my entire life.
Yeah.
That is a long fucking time to spend your life shared with someone else
Yeah.
in the same home, sharing everything. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's a long time to spend
It's a shit ton of
um
time. Yeah. That's like with
spend
me
your life with
because
somebody.
like that's like with me, this is the longest I've ever been single. Like, this is the longest I've ever been single. I'm definitely a long-term relationship or relationship type of person. I do not do the whole like, oh, let's see how no, like, nah, get another bitch. Like, I'm not into that. I'm not about to give up what I'm giving, and not have a title. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, I realized after my last situation with Gemini that I definitely needed time to figure some things out and to understand what I want and don't want in a mate, because that situation got should have never happened, but it did. And I was wondering like where it stem from. So with me being single, what, think been single like 3 months. I think that's the longest I've ever been single in my adult life. Like, it's crazy. And the thing is that I realized I really have to take time out to not only develop, to know the type of person that I want to be with, but to develop myself into the type of person that I would want to be with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't want to be with somebody who is still not necessarily finding themselves, but more so steady evolving. Like, I don't want to
Right.
get with somebody and they think I'm one person, and then once I hit the best of me, I'm a completely different person than what they initially dated or initially was presented with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that's fair. I don't feel like that's
Right.
fair. You're supposed to evolve and grow with your mate, but at the same time,
With
too,
your
if you
man.
become a completely different person, you're a nice person, and you end up being a narcissistic asshole, that's not right. That's not fair, because you wasted their time. And coming from a person who had their time wasted by a relationship, I absolutely 100% will never intentionally do that to somebody. So I think that's
Right.
another reason why relationships and dating, serious dating, is on pause for me, because I have so much growth for myself that I'm doing. Like, I'm completely changing. Like, I don't even look like the same person I looked like, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like that part. I don't even think the same. I don't even, my goals aren't the same. Like, and a
Mm-hmm.
year from now, I'm not going to look like this person that I am now, because I'm steady changing. You know what I'm saying? I'm steady evolving. So I might become somebody else. But
Yeah. But yeah, no, for me, I don't know. Like, in my most recent situation, marriage was a thing, a requested thing.
right.
Like they literally asked me would I marry them.
Yeah.
Um and I just was like, no.
Right.
But then after some time it was like, maybe.
Maybe.
You
I
know what I'm
remember.
saying?
No, I was there. I was there. I
Yeah, it's
remember.
like,
I remember. I
maybe I
definitely
might be
remember.
able to do this, but I just ultimately that's not something that I'm looking to do when I go into a situation. I really, when people say life partners, that don't mean to me a marriage.
I think we
Life
have multiple
partner,
life partners. Just me.
yeah, and I agree. But when somebody say like life partners, I'm literally looking for that person that I can grow old with, and that we don't ever
Me
have to get
too.
married and stuff like that. Like people get married for the benefits of health insurance and all this other financial benefits, right? But then when the shit don't work out, those same financial benefits don't benefit you. You actually come out more money trying to separate or divorce this person because it didn't fucking work out. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Agreed.
Instead of me just going ahead and walking the fuck away. Like
Right.
in my situation, I can't just walk away. We broke up.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we're still attached. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
And
Like
we still
his
are
shit is
attached.
still is his shit is my shit, and my shit is his shit as of right now.
Right.
So like, I mean, just to be completely blunt with it, we still gotta fucking file taxes together, and I'm like highly
Exactly.
pissed about that shit.
Exactly. I know you are, because he
So
irritates you every time, because he always end up
every
costing
year.
money. Every year he costs money. It's annoying.
So
Yes. And
it's
see,
like I don't want to do that no more, and to have to go into a situation, and I hate to have to look at it from this perspective, but having to go into a situation where I have to share my tax paperwork with you, that's a lot. That's a
yeah.
lot. And I'm just gonna be real. If I was to get married again, Michigan, and it ain't gotta be Michigan, there are several states that do same sex marriages, and you can opt as a heterosexual couple to do. Michigan has what they call a civil union. I would definitely do that. You are not financially responsible for me. I am not financially
You
responsible for
like, I'm
you.
not doing that. Like, and for me with marriage, for me initially when I was growing up, marriage was a symbol of how you have your children, how you the foundation of the family. And like for me, like I didn't want kids with Chris because I didn't trust him to lead. And not saying that he hasn't evolved into that. I don't know anything about that man's life. I hope he will and all the other stuff. But when I was dealing with him, I didn't trust him enough to have kids with him, because I took care of absolutely everything for him.
This is a revelation because for years that is not what you said.
I know for years I said like I didn't want kids and all this other stuff, and it was actually, what did I tell you for years? So was it?
Years you would say that he was too young
Yeah,
and he wasn't ready
no.
and that but he was a good guy.
It
That's what
was
you used to always say.
exactly, and it was that, but it was me sugarcoating the fact that I was doing everything, like everything, and I was scared that like God forbid something happened, he would fold under pressure with raising my children, like raising my legacy, my future, like the most important part of me. So I was terrified to have kids with him because of that. And it was all of that, the age stuff like that, but most of it was the fact that like I wasn't secure enough in feeling like he would be able to take care of them. But for me, marriage was a symbol of the foundation to have kids. Like my parents was married before they had me, but now at this point, it's like I want my three sons. Like I want my own family. Like I want my children, but I want my children with the right people. Like I want my children with the right person. You know what I'm saying? That like we're growing together, we're learning together, it's our first experience or whatever it may be. But it's like it's important to me. Like having children now is important to me. I want to be married and I want to get married, but I want to get married to the person I'm supposed to grow old with. I
And
don't
and I'm gonna say honestly, when I married Sean, and you know this, when I married Sean, I literally
think,
thought that we was just gonna be some old ass motherfuckers for real.
period.
But like you said earlier in the conversation, when two individuals do not grow together,
Goes to
it
shit.
destroys the
It
relationship.
destroys the relationship, and the
And that's
relationship with
really
me
what
and Chris.
happened.
The relationship with me and Chris went to shit because all of the responsibility was on me, and I'm watching the person that I'm supposed to be with, that's supposed to love me and have my back, watch me disintegrate
Struggle.
because of the pressure. So it was like, you're not it. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is this? I don't deserve this. This isn't okay. This isn't cool. This isn't how it's supposed to be. And it just deteriorated after that. And then on top of it, after I found out, the person he was sleeping with and what he was doing and all that shit, it just completely destroyed absolutely everything. But
Hmm.
I take my fault and responsibility into it too. Like I tell everybody when I talk about that, is like I was at fault too. I wasn't perfect. I didn't cheat or anything like that, but I allowed him to get comfortable and do the things he was doing. I didn't enforce like I want my goals on top of your goals. It was just more so like this is his goals. I'm his girl, so I'm behind him 100% instead of like me focusing on mine too. I think
Right.
something staticky on your end. Like is your thing connected? Is something
Yeah,
okay?
it should be.
That
So let me just say this. It's a comment in the comments that says that motherhood is amazing. And I'm a,
itty.
I'm and I'm gonna just say yes. Motherhood is the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah,
It is also the worst thing since sliced bread.
it's a lot. Like
I just need to be honest because
yeah,
I feel like when it comes to parenting, not just motherhood, people do not talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. They make it look glamorous and this and that, but you really don't talk about the ugly parts. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
And so when people who don't have kids, and you realize like, damn, I really got to do this shit. Like
right.
I got this little person really this little person right here really depends on me to take care of them. Like my son is 3, and when he make me mad, I'm like, you know what? You're just gonna get a whole nother mother, and he was like, no, you have to take care of me. I'm like, who said?
Yeah.
Who
I
told
think
you these lies?
I
But
think the
no,
thing with motherhood, I think I'm not a mom. I'm saying it from the perspective of somebody who doesn't have kids, but is surrounded by women that do have children and men that are single fathers as well.
yeah,
I see both sides. I think parenthood in general is beautiful. It is wonderful, and they wouldn't change. You guys wouldn't change it for the world. But I think a lot of people don't allow parents to have that experience of being not being okay. like not
And I
being all together
and that yes, and I
without
will
being
agree with
judged,
that.
without being judged. Oh, not
Without
yet, because
being
I'm
judged.
fully gonna be pregnant this year. Period. Yeah, I was
Yes,
responding to
I agree. They don't allow for parents to have that, to be themselves.
that. Yeah,
Because when you become a parent, especially if you was like, I was raised by a single mom, right? So when you see your single mom doing everything, you just automatically assume that that's how that shit go. When in
exactly.
reality, it really takes a team of motherfuckers to help you.
Yes,
Like, let's just, if you have a baby by a male who's not, it's not a give and take situation where you're able to rely on that individual
yes,
to help you out.
yeah,
So you're really kind of like left by yourself. You really do need a team to fucking help you do
yes,
whatever. You
right,
understand what I'm saying?
right,
You need a team to fucking work. Like,
right,
most moms fucking work.
right.
And to work, excuse me. So before my tragedies happened,
Yeah.
um, and my schedule at the bank was like this. I was supposed to been at work at 8:30. Both of my one kid had to been in school at 8 o'clock, the other one at 8:15, and I'm supposed to be to work at 8:30.
Hmm.
Never made it to work at 8:30. Let me tell you, never made it
That
to
ain't
work at
happened.
8:30 because I have a 3-year-old whose first year at school was this year or last,
Right,
at the beginning of the school year.
right,
So it was always drama in the morning trying to get him to school. So there's that. Then they have to be picked up. One got out at 3:15, the other one gets out at 3:30.
right,
So I'm supposed to be working from 8:30 to 3 o'clock Monday through Thursday. I'm supposed to work on Fridays from 8:30 to 6:30 with an hour and a half lunch on Fridays. And then to make up my hours that I missed throughout the week, Monday through Thursday, I had to work Saturdays from 8:30 to 12:30. Do y'all know how tired I was fucking
right.
every day,
I
every week?
I know.
I'm literally getting off work, picking up kids, going to, get food, coming home, getting everybody ready to do this shit all over again the next fucking day. I was exhausted and I was working 6 days a week, even though on Saturdays, even though I was working short hours, but I was still exhausted. My son doesn't like to go to bed until 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So
Right,
they're sleep right there.
right,
Then fighting with him throughout the day because again, he's a toddler. So it's exhausting to do it by yourself. You literally need a fucking team
right.
to fucking help you.
And
And
that plays into fact with me with knowing I'm not gonna have a team, with the exception of the father. Like, the situation with my family. Like, I am the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the team. So it's like that was a major fear, and why I waited so long to have kids or to prepare to have kids and stuff like that is because I knew I was going in this alone. And if I did have kids with Chris, I was going in it alone, with the exception of him. And that was also somebody I couldn't depend on. But like, even now, with me having kids, the only help I would have would be the father,
my
because
man, you hire you a fucking nanny. That's
but
what you
see, that's
do.
the thing too. But see, that's the thing too. That's, you already know how I am. You already know that's the game plan. Like, it has to. I have to
But
have it. I have
I
to have.
really wish, like, so I do have the fortune. I am fortunate to have. Well, I had my mother who was helping, and then my dad when he can. With my daughter, her dad has a really huge side of his family,
Right,
so she was always gone with them. But with my son, it's not like that. So
right,
I did have I am fortunate to have my parents to like step in every now and again.
right. And I,
But
yeah,
at the same time too, so I have a sister and she has 2 kids and she don't get no breaks. And I
at all.
literally mean
None.
nobody keeps these kids.
Yeah,
Nobody.
right.
Like, and she has multiple breakdowns throughout the week because
I remember.
she don't have time to
Breathe.
breathe and be because she's constantly with her kids
Right.
24/7.
Exactly.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You
And I
know what I'm
think
saying?
it's so crazy because you told me something about me wanting kids too. You were like, you want kids, but I don't think it's going to happen until you have accomplished your goals as far as financially, because you have manifested and said that multiple times, that that is so important to you, that being financially able to take care of your kids and to provide them with the, affluent life that you want them. Until that happens, that's not, that won't happen. I do believe that to a certain extent too, because like even now with me being hired in a gym, yeah, I'm gonna make 120 grand a year, but at the same time too, I'm going to be there so much.
All the
Like
time.
I would have to have a nanny. I would have to have somebody to help out with that, because there's nobody else to help me with that. Like except for me. There, or the father. And then on top of that, like I think it's why I'm so gung ho about learning so many different streams of income, because I don't plan on being at GM long term, because it takes up so much time. So I have to get to the point where I'm making, $250,000 a year, where I'm comfortable with taking care of my kids and stuff like that. So that's why I'm work so hard. That's why my time is so constrained. That's why it's like I'm so always on edge and working, which plays into why kind of my relationships get put on a back burner, which is kind of crazy, especially seeing as how, I'm having kids within the next year and stuff.
I believe,
Crazy.
yeah, I believe that when a man wants you, he's going to make time for you. He's going to make it to where I'm gonna give you an example. When I met Sean, he a guy that I was dating or messing around with at the time, we was literally just fuck buddies, right? And
Right.
when I met him, he was like, no, no, no. All I want to do is have a fuck buddy. I'm not looking for no relationship. Okay, bet we could just fuck. Cool, whatever.
Right.
So messing around for a couple of years, and all of a sudden he like, you seem like a good candidate for a girlfriend. And I said, is
There
that
we go.
fucking right?
There we go.
Okay. So let's talk about it if that's what the fuck you want to do. So this motherfucker
Right.
was like, I need to be able to see you now. He didn't have a car. So he wanted me to come see him 3 times a week. Nigga, I got a whole baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I can't
Yeah.
give you that. And he was
I
like,
can't.
well, at least 2 times a week. I said, I had a whole baby. I was working a full-time job and I was going to school.
It's just not
I
gonna
told
happen.
him, I said, I can try to give you one day a week. Like, I can try. You understand what I'm saying? So he like, that's not good enough. I said, okay, well, bet. We ain't got to fuck around no more.
Right. Right.
But when I met Sean, even though it was convenient for him because we worked together, but he put his time into my time, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. So if I had to go to school, he was picking me up and taking me to school. You know what I'm
And it
saying?
feels
I
so
had a
good.
car.
It feels so good. Yeah.
So I had a car. He's like, no, I'm gonna pick you up, take you to school. I'll pick you up. That's where we was able to spend time. Oh, you need to go to work. You ain't got to drive. I ain't have to drive my car. I was leaving my car with my sister.
Right.
So like, okay, bet y'all got access to a car. I'm about to drive. He about to come pick me up. He would pick me up. We would go to work, and we spend our time together. Like he invested his time in my time. So, and I'm saying that to say that when a man wants to be with you, that's what he's going to do. He's going to invest his time in your time.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's completely true. I completely true. But it also happens with duds too, because as you can see, like I had a scenario where, like even with, let's say, even with Esco when I first got back here to Detroit, he knew I was strictly platonic and didn't view him in a sexual way no more. Like it had been like 9 years since me and him had been together, but he kept pressuring me to have more time, spend more time with him, hang out with him more, not work at GM, um, all these things that are required of someone that you dated, but we were friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't slept with him or anything like that. So it's kind of like he would be like, well, I'll drive you to work. I know it's a long drive. I don't care. I'll do this. I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? But like, I know you have an ulterior motive and you're still a dud. Like, do you still take the fact that somebody is trying to give you their time as them investing in you, or do you take it as like,
No, well, I was just simply saying, I mean, because obvious, like, me and Sean is not together, so,
right,
you know what I'm saying? But what I mean by that is when a man wants you, he
right,
makes time for you, regardless if it works out or not.
right,
So when he makes up his mind that this is the woman that I want to be with,
right,
he does that. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
So,
See, the crazy
uh,
part is I've had guys do that and they ended up being crazy. You know, the last two situations, all the time in the world. But it's like,
no, no,
no,
because no,
no,
no.
they a no, they a no. But I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. When a man of certain status or certain character who time is already, taken up, he's making it for you, then you'll know that's the person that, you need to invest in for a while and things.
Or give a shout out to like people because you said in relationships people get mad at you for being,
Go
going after your goals and working and stuff like that. But at the same time too, those people are not they're going to try to take,
the
if that
benefits
makes
of
sense.
that. Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Agreed. Okay, so we're gonna end this live because it's getting late and I know you're sleepy. And I appreciate you being on. We gotta do this again. When they cancel another Saturday, like we doing this again. All right. Like, yeah.
I agree.
Because I like
Maybe a little bit earlier,
a little bit
but
early. Maybe if the freaking things would start acting right and be on the same era
that
with us, yes. But definitely got to do this again. Maybe we'll do it tomorrow if you feel up to it, or if we feel up to it. We'll see. We'll talk. We'll talk. But
that
thank you everybody for commenting and tuning in, especially Mr. Cop.
Mr. Cop. Mr. Cop, yes.
Hi, honey. But yeah, thank you. We'll talk later. Bye, everyone. Have a good night.